Okay. Yeah, we are live now.
Where do we go from here? Who can we call to us? I am only him can help us to stand. Oh, things are happening around. Fearful things we can't tell. I am Olúwa àtayé ló lè gbé ní ró. Only him can help us to stand. Yes, I believe. Yes, I believe. Yes, I believe. I believe. Yes, I believe. Yes, I believe. Yes, I believe. I believe.
There cannot be effective mass communication without outlets or tools to store and deliver information without data. Music, dance, film, games, and that include, of course, video game, comedy, etc., must all be tailored towards nation building, must be tailored towards making the world a better place for all of us. Media and entertainment have the power to build or destroy, make or mar, remake, or devastate any nation or the world at large. We must call to mind the Rwanda Genocide of 1994, which left an indelible cicatrice in the national consciousness of the people of Rwanda. The role played by Simon Bikindi is most relevant to our discussion today. Simon, a Rwanda singer, songwriter, who was tried and convicted for incitement of the genocide. More than 800,000 people were massacred, mostly by machetes, during a period of less than 100 days. Simon was accused of consciously and deliberately helped in the plan to kill the Tutsis, and that is Tutsi is one of the major tribes in Rwanda, through the lyrics of his music. On the other hand, how can we forget so soon the great tone of We Are the World, recorded January 29, 1985, released March 7 of that same year, written by the duo of Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie. Most recently, Waymaker, which held #1 spot on Billboard's Airplay chart for weeks in 2020, written by Nigerian gospel singer Sinach and released as a single on 30 December 2015. Guesting today is a singer, songwriter, sound engineer, cognitive behavioral therapist, lifestyle entrepreneur, lead consultant at Therapo, a great friend and brother of mine, Cornelius Saxon. Please feel welcomed, brother. And with Cornelius, we shall be exploring the power of media and how media can help us remake the world. Please feel welcome, my brother. How do you hope?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
And how is family?
Yeah, we're doing very well, very well.
Okay,
Yes.
before we go too far, let's remind our viewers to please, if you've not subscribed to our page, kindly subscribe to Shining Africa's Media YouTube page. I'm sure you are going to like the content, and please don't forget to share it eventually after viewing the videos. I should quickly remind us again that Shining Africa's Ministry, that is the NGO arm of our organization, is not anti-government. I must repeat that again. We are not an anti-government organization. We are pro-government. I have to correct that because in one of our last show last week, my stake in Nigeria, I said we are not anti-government and we are not pro-government, that we are in between. And that is a very dangerous place to be. So we are not anti-government, we are pro-government. Why are we pro-government? Because we know through study that God created government, and government on earth to a very large extent are representing the will of God. So democracy is another concept that we need to define altogether, because that is the government of the people. Today is not a day of politics. Today is a day we discuss the influence, the power of entertainment, and how entertainment can help us rebuild the world, with my great friend and brother, actually the producer of the song that is playing at the back. I welcome you again, dear brother.
Yeah.
How do you open? Please, the floor is yours now. Please go ahead.
Hey, firstly, I want to appreciate all of yours from home, and I'm just going to be sharing my own opinion of the topic we are going to be talking about. What I'm going to speak about is not a complete perspective of every solution that is available.
Absolutely.
But you know, as at now, what is available to me presently is what I'm going to share with you, and my own personal opinion how to take advantage of music and the media, or probably media and entertainment, to shape our nation or the world. So I actually wrote some few things down that I'd like to share with everybody. Now, first of all, from the definition of music, I'll start from music. From the definition of music that is common, it said music is the combination of sound that is pleasant to the ear, that is agreeable to the ear. So if music is the combination of sound that is agreeable to the ear, then there is consistently a connection between a hearer and those who are producing music. So music is a tool, very strong tool, that I would want to just make some little breakdown about today. In my studying years, I was doing a course around music therapy sometimes, and I realized that music is the only tool that has the capacity to enter a man's mind and control his conscious without his consent.
Only tool, you said?
Yeah.
Only tool. Okay, please
yeah.
go ahead.
Or probably I say, let me put it another way. Music is a tool. Let me not say only tool, actually.
Okay.
Music is a tool that enters a man's mind and control his conscious without his consent. So whether he agrees or he does not agree, it controls your conscious. Wow, so that is how powerful music.
Please
that is
take
how
that
powerful
again.
music.
I like the ending of that particular definition. Please say it again, please.
Okay, music is a tool that enters a man's mind and control his conscious without his consent.
That is powerful.
Yeah,
I think we can now say we can settle for your formal, using the word only tool, because I think music is the only tool that can achieve that. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So me getting to understand this some years back, I realized how powerful, how controlling, how instructive music can be. So it's so powerful that, and now when we talk music now, I'm not even talking about the lyrics. I'm just talking about the tune itself, that sound. You know, so like I said, music, I first gave the definition that music is a combination of sound that is pleasant to the ear. So because of the pleasantness, unconsciously, there is a connection between you and the sounds you hear. And now, I have plans to mention some things today. There are gates. There are gates in this world that we live in, and these gates are a place of authority. They are a place of control. They are a place of power. And when we understand that there are gates, I think we already have something to stand on as a foundation. So I've learned a whole lot of different gates, and I'm still learning about the gates, you know, that controls our world, the gates of influence, the gates of power, and a whole lot of gates like that. And as humans, we have some basic gates, and those gates are 5 gates. We all know those gates. It's a common thing, but many people don't put their minds too much on it. And that's our 5 sensory organs. That is the sight, the hair, you know, the nose that we use in perceiving, the tongue that we use in tasting, and our skin that we use in feeling. These are gates. Every human's life is shaped and formed by these 5 gates. You are who you are because of all the things that these gates have allowed you get. So your life is a formation of what you have received through these gates. You get in, whether consciously or not consciously. So for us to call ourselves humans, it is because of these gates. And now, these gates, we have control over it actually, but I'm now telling you that there is now a particular tool that gets through these gates,
all right,
without your consent, and can control your conscious. So you understand what I'm saying now? So in every gate that we have now, there is a particular tool that gets into your community, your city, your country, the world at large. There is a tool that enters that world and shape your life, shape the direction you will have to go in life, shape the way you think, reason, the ideologies that your mind produces, the functionality of your complete life without your consent. So that is very, very powerful.
And instructive, powerful. Powerful.
And okay, it is really not about your hair. It is what comes in through the hair. And that is what comes in through the hair, not just sounds alone. Now, there are things that are now put into the music. Now, because there is a particular tool that can get mind and control you, now a whole lot of things are now attached to this tool because this tool has access. It's just like to the president's office. Now, if you have access to the president's office, by the time you want to go there, they know your car. There is a tag on your car that you can use to get into the environment. Villa. Now, if you have guys inside your car that they are following you, that they're in the car with you, because they know that car and that car has a tag to be allowed into that environment, you can actually take in whoever into that environment because of the past that the car has. Now, so because of the past that music has, into every human's mind, a whole lot of things have now been attached to it. So music actually is now a vehicle that carries a whole lot of things. So it now depends on who and what that vehicle is used to carry.
Okay.
So that's a very big thing. That is a very big thing.
Absolutely.
Now, so when we're talking entertainment, entertainment. One thing I used to say about entertainment, or the way I get to break down or explain entertainment, that entertainment is it's the service or the activity that you receive during your weakest moment. Don't forget that we use entertainment to relax.
Absolutely.
So you cannot be entertained while you are fighting. You know that. You cannot be entertained when you are writing an exam. You cannot be entertained when you are struggling, to avoid an accident. So for each time that you are at your highest point of function, entertainment does not happen there. So entertainment actually happens when your guard is loose. So when you lose guard, that's when entertainment gets to come. Now, entertainment comes. Music also is a means of entertainment. So you are at your weakest point, you are at your highest receptive point when you are being entertained. Why? You are not doing a whole lot of mental activity. So there is no processing, so much processing that you are doing during that time that you're being entertained. Why? You're just trying to relax, relieve yourself. So at that point, music also now coming in. All these things put together, it's something very, very, very complex, but yet subtle. It's a very subtle thing that if you really don't get to put your mind on this, you may just take it as it's just entertainment, we're just relaxing, we're just having fun, we're just catching trips. But really, a whole lot of things are being smuggled in. A whole lot of things are being brought in unconsciously or knowingly. So that is one thing that happens with entertainment. You're at your weakest point, don't forget, when you're being entertained. So if you're at your weakest point when you're being entertained, and you're being entertained with a particular tool that can enter your mind without your consent and control your conscious, then you really, really need to take time to put your mind on entertainment and how it functions. Now, from the four sensory part or sensory organ of humans, sight is the most dominating. Out of the five sensory organs, the sight actually covers 40%, or actually takes in, let me say, from all the information we receive through our senses, the sight actually takes 40% of the total 100 that is available. So the hair, the taste, the skin, the nose, and all that, they share the rest 60. So sight also is a powerful part of our sensory organ. Are you getting me? And most of the things in our life it's shaped by what we hear and by what we see. Now, kids, while they are very little, their comprehension is so low, but their comprehension of what they hear is so low because they don't know so much words, so they may not be able to comprehend everything you are saying because they still know so little. But the things they can see, you'll be very surprised that they will practice it immediately you are done, despite their comprehension is very low. So sight is a very powerful tool that actually takes a large portion of our comprehension, or let me say reception of information. Now, putting two things together, the hear and sight. These two things are two tools that is being used in the entertainment and media environment. Now, so when I say hear, there is one thing I'm referring to. Anytime you hear me say hear, I'm talking about words. And there are three types of words. There are spoken words, there are written words, and there is this third part. It is unspoken.
Spoken words.
They call it thoughts. You get me? Yeah. So like a time I wrote something out. I think I read it when I was younger. You know,
Okay.
and the thing stuck to my mind. He said, "You're a servant. No, you're a god of your unspoken words. You're a servant of your spoken words, and you're a slave of your written words." And that is why, when checking evidences, if you were thinking about something, you can't go to jail and you can't be prosecuted for the words you have not spoken.
Absolutely.
But for the ones you have spoken, if there is audio evidence, they take it to account. But the one that you write, that's a critical one. And that is why they will tell you that don't take verbal contracts. You should take written contracts.
Okay. Now,
Why?
please hold your thoughts. Don't take verbal
contracts.
Take
You take written
no matter how close you guys are. Don't take
verbal.
If we must have a business deal now.
Yeah.
It must be it must be sealed.
It must be documented. Yeah, absolutely. You must write something. Yeah. And I will say this. I'll say this with let me create a little difference between the verbal and the written.
Okay, when I say before you go ahead, we want to quickly flash a video about Terrapool. So I don't know if so we want to quickly share that video. Let's have the video, please.
Beautiful things we can't steal. I am Olúwa Untitled.
We need the sound. What about the sound? Awesome. Now, let's see if you can go ahead without me interrupting you.
Okay.
Please go ahead for the next 5 minutes, and then I will come in after that.
Okay. So like I'm saying, I want to make a little breakdown of the difference between you being a servant of the verbal and being a slave of the written. There's a difference between a servant and a slave. A servant is being paid. A slave is being owned. So you either buy a slave or probably you acquire a slave one way or the other. Whatever way you get a slave, you don't pay a slave. A slave can work to death.
That's right.
But a servant can actually tender a resignation. So
whether it's verbal or not verbal, in fact, a servant can just disappear. You wake up in the morning and you do not see him or her again.
Yeah. So with that, you can understand the power of words. I'm just trying to tell you the power of words, whether it is written or it's been spoken. Now, in our world now, when I say written now, there's a difference. Now, in our world now, written words are not just the ones you write with your pen. They're the ones you type on your phone, you type on your computers, those ones we read on our social media platforms. That is the written words in our days now. Why? Life has improved. So when we're talking about the written words now, don't think that it's the one you really write with your pen. It's the one you type right now. In our days, we don't write, we type now. So keep that in mind. So you are a slave of every word that is being typed or you type. So you're a servant of the words you speak and you hear. So quickly, let me rush up because I'm just trying to, create a, a ground for today's topic. Even if I can't finish all I have to say, because I've not even touched my notes.
And
I've not touched my notes.
Please prepare to come back. We'll be glad to have you.
Okay,
no problem. I beg you.
No problem. So I want to say this, that now music now is no longer limited to the tunes or the tones being produced by musical instruments anymore.
Okay.
Music actually goes along with words. Now, if words are not there, we still can produce music. But music now is a tool that people consistently now put words. And those words are what we call lyrics. Are you getting me? So those words now are actually the passenger inside the vehicle of music. And now music now has a path into every human's mind, regardless of who you are, the position you occupy. Your people's mind can acquire informations as lyrics, and their lives can. Now, there is a study some years back, and the conclusion of the study says, show me the music of a nation. I'll give you an estimation of what the result of the nation would be. So if you want to know the result of a life of a particular community or particular nation, you the kind of people and the result of the kind of life that the people in that environment would have. So if we are having a messed up environment, we're having a messed up nation, or probably we're having a whole lot of crazy things happening, it's all over there. Let's pick 1,000 of the kind of music that is being published out there, and let's start checking their content. Let's check what follows the music out. Now, let's check the lyrics. Now, secondly, I told you the other time that there is a 40% capacity of information that we receive through sight. Now, music is no longer what we hear. Music has moved away from what we listen to. Music has moved to what we watch. If you make an audio out right now, you may not make a whole lot of impact as a musician. You need to make a video first. Some years back, I was making a research and I saw a particular American artist. The artist spent $350,000 to shoot a 3-minute video. Can we do that math? What I'm talking about should be around 10 years back. You get me? So if we put that into our own present economy, Nigerian economy now, and we check out for what that means, that means that person spent 58 billion.
Wow.
To shoot. So even if I want to bring it a little low, let's say that as at that 10 years ago, what a dollar was in our environment here then, I can say I think a dollar should be around probably 120 or so as at 10 years back.
Yeah.
So that should be around, let's say, I don't know, I'm looking for the math, but it's a whole lot of money. So let's say around 50 million. So if somebody shoots a video, a musical video of 2 minutes or 3 minutes with 50 million naira 10 years ago, in our present age now, let's multiply that money times 4.
Wow.
You get me? So
I'm just
somebody
curious,
makes.
who is that artist? Who is that artist?
And I really don't want to mention names.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't want to mention them. But
Right.
now, not just one artist. There were a
Right.
whole lot of them that does that.
Okay.
So I was so messed up when I saw the amount they spent to shoot the musical video. So if I tell you now that I'm shooting a musical video in our present age, and the budget for the video is 100 million, what are you gonna say? A musical video, a 3-minute song for 100 million naira. You know, you're gonna, if you being my friend, what will you say? Are you all right?
Yeah.
That's the question you're gonna ask me, that just a song or your career. That's what you say. Are you spending the whole money on your career, or you are spending the money on just a song? And I'll tell you, I'm spending on just a song. But that is what happens in the world we've been living in, that we don't put our minds to. Now, that musical video now, one thing I would tell you is that those music that they spend those amount of money on is what is used in shaping our global community.
Okay.
Now, where I belong, our music organization, we're making some business breakdown sometimes, and while we're doing all that, I told them through research that okay, now making a song does not just end at you singing the song. Some people are just so up about the lyrics they want to pass out. Some religious people, they're just so concerned about what I have to say. And I was telling them that different people listen to music, and music is being received differently. Now, there are so many things people get to listen to when they hear your music. Some listen to the lyrics, some listen to the music, and the music I'm talking about, which is the instrumentation, the guitarist is looking for what to get from it, the drummer is looking for what to get from it, the what's it called, whoever else gets to play instrument. Now, the sound engineer also is checking out the kind of plugins, the kind of effects, the kind of whatever. Now, the producer is observing how they produce the whole job, and there are different things that people are looking out for in the song. So some don't even listen to the lyrics. They don't care about whatever beat you play. They're just checking out. Yeah. Now, you now make a musical video. Do you know that you have enlarged the community that is receiving your song? So the community that receives your song now, the fashion designer is checking the kind of clothes you use. The automobile company is checking that, okay, they actually use this kind of car. Can they use my own car too in their next video? So different people are receiving what you're doing. Different brands are seeing. So it is not song. It is not just the song. There's a whole lot of things that has gone with the music. And what happened is that music actually will force those informations into your mind without your consent. So
that
every information,
powerful and dangerous.
So every information that is being put into that project comes into your mind, comes into everybody's mind that have a chance to listen or watch the videos, and you would not be able to just stop it. And now, those things that you receive subconsciously, you will start acting them out unconsciously.
Unconsciously.
Now, and I'm going to say something. There is something we call suggestive impression. It's an ideology that is used in movies, used in videos, and a whole lot of stuff like that. Suggestive impression is, I will not tell you what to do. I will not give you an instruction, but I will present an option for you. And I'm not going to, it's not going to be a major thing I'm going to be emphasizing on, but I will make it as a suggestion, but I'll be impressing it. So more like, if I want you to start drinking or taking alcohol recklessly, one of the things I have to do is, as I'm doing this talk now, I take a little of it. I'm holding the bottle. And I'll talk for another 5 minutes. And I'll do that. Now, when you want to do your next video, you will observe that I was holding a blue container. It has one particular whatever design and all that. You will unconsciously start doing this. Now, I really wanted to be so free today that I wanted to sit on the floor to have this session. Yeah, I really don't want to create a formal environment, but I realize that you might be formal, so you may make the contrast look so distant. So that's why I try to manage myself into this shape. But really, what I want to bring out from there is that I want to also suggestively impress facts into people's mind without a formal environment. Now, okay, let me push it a little further. Now, suggestive impressions, like I've said now, these are things that have been put into a whole lot of projects that are flown out there. Now, you see our videos, music videos that flies around. There's a whole lot of, nudity, foul language, saying stuff that gets to fly with those things. Now, they actually propel, a whole lot of stuff, but it is the song that these guys are actually launching out. Now, why is it that everybody who wants to be successful thinks that the only way to enjoy your success is to squander your whatever thing you make, is to spend lavishly? Who taught us that when you have a whole lot of money, you just need to buy things without essence, without a thought of what those things were meant for? You understand? So we buy things without essence, we run things without essence. We don't even care about what those things actually do, but we care about the status profiling that it creates. So I could choose to just, my first 1 million. That's why you see every young boy, young girl wants to buy Mercedes Benz, wants to buy one crazy car like that, and that's a way for them that they are doing well. But really, that is not it. That is what the media is suggesting. That is what the songs are saying. Everybody wants to buy a fast car, and that makes them feel like, that's when I'm doing good. All these impressions are being put in all the music and the stuffs we see. People buy a curtain. A friend, there's this guy that I follow online. He said he went to buy a Gucci shirt, and he bought the Gucci shirt for like around, let's say around $1,200. Okay. So he now went to the country that they make the clothes. He went to look for the materials and all that, and he got a very professional tailor to make it for him. He makes the same, with the same material, with the same quality, and by the time it was done, what he bought at $1,200 was made at less than $200.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there is an extra $1,000 that is being spent without knowing that, the value of this thing does not, beat. I used to give an example of some years back when mobile phone came into Nigeria. I remember that when MTN came, my dad bought his first SIM for 38,000 naira. Okay. Now he bought his first SIM for 38,000 naira. Right now, they are giving the SIM out for free. One. Number two, like a year back, you buy the SIM for like 50 naira or 100 naira. So in my head, I started checking that what happened. Is it that the place and the materials they are using to create the SIM are now found on the ground by the roadside, that they are not spending money to get the microchips or the material to create the microchips on the card anymore? But it's not true. Right now, the world is even more expensive, but the SIM is almost given to us for free. So it ought to be that the SIM ought to become more and more expensive. So as at that time, what happened? What happened then was that we don't know that the cost price of a SIM is not even up to 50 naira as at then. But they gave us an ideology. When I bought my first SIM, I had to contribute, save money before I could buy my first SIM. I bought it, I even bought it during a promo time, and I bought it for 12,600.
Wow, 20,000?
12,000.
Okay.
12,600. I bought the SIM, I didn't have a phone. So I'm always carrying my SIM around that one day if I see someone who has a phone, I'll put it in and I'll be able to use it to call and have fun. But seriously, that's the kind of thing that gets to happen with the value of things that is being projected to us. So for us to shape the world or to readjust the whole lot of things we're saying, it's not even about you getting on the street and shouting or making unnecessary noise. The people that are controlling this world, they're not on the street. They're behind doors, walking consistently.
Wow.
Are you getting
you
it?
could say that
Doors.
1,000 times, that the people that are controlling this world are not on the streets.
Yeah, they are not on the street. They are behind doors, walking consistently, researching how you want, how you function, how humans respond, how so they are checking consistently how our mental faculty is being shaped. The last result they got from the last time that they exercised a particular ideology, those are the things they are sitting down with. They are pumping a whole lot of money into research for human behavior, human character, human disposition, and all that. That is what they are spending their time to do. And
I'm sure they are spending on research to have more results, have better control over the people, because of course not everybody are being controlled by what they've done. So they must do much research work to make sure more people are dragged into their scheme.
Let me quickly give you a very, very practical one. Now, social media.
Okay.
I used to ask a question that when we say, probably America is a world power and the president of America is number one president in the world or the most powerful president in the world, there's a question I used to ask. Do you know the guy who suddenly controls everybody in your country and is not a president? There's a guy who is controlling every one of us, you, me, all of us in Nigeria, in the whole of Africa, in South Korea, in whatever. There's a guy who's controlling all of us. That guy is the one shaping the way we live our life. He's the one who is facilitating even this one that we are doing right now. The guy who created this platform is controlling what you are doing, what I am doing. They are the ones who are shaping the world presently. These guys can say the world will function and they can say the world will not function.
Awesome, please. This is getting intense and it's getting more interesting. Of course, anytime with you is always, is always interesting. I look forward to, having chat with you every time. And I can recall the time of the past when we, coming into your studio and, you just keep talking and talking and talking, not just talking. You don't just talk, your words are filled with wisdom. Now, I promised you that we are not going to exceed 45 minutes. And we are just 2 minutes away from 45 minutes. And I want to keep to that promise. I want to please ask for that grace again, that you will be hosted again. I desire to host you again on this platform so you can complete these thoughts. This thought is massive, and I know you have not even touched, you have not even gotten you have not gotten anywhere. You've not touched it at all. So you are still introducing it to us. So can you please use this 44 minutes, 1 minute to close on all you've said? We come back, have the second session of this, and we complete it then, if time permits us.
I'll say this quickly. For those who may not have the privilege of seeing the next video, so that you can, with all that you've heard us spoke about, I'll say this, that if you really want to control or manage your country or change the narrative that is happening in your country, in your environment, in your community, it's not about the noise on the street.
I will call the music.
It's about you learning how to make use of the tools that controls humans. It's about you spending more time in researching about how you can be in the place of authority. And the place of authority I'm talking about is not in the government. It is in these environments that I am talking about. Even our government, the people in the government are being shaped by this same set of people that has this understanding. So spend more time researching and working on new ideas to manage your community, that small community that you belong to. The tools that you can use in managing them. So you must, like, okay, now we're talking about media and entertainment. I want you, those of you that are in that environment, I want you to be the one that controls the content of your environment. Be the one that controls the entertainment of your environment. Be the song, be the man shaping the mindset. So spend more time, because what we hear forms the images, and what we hear and what we see forms the images of our mind, and the images of our minds become the vision that we have, and the vision we have is what we chase, and that is going to be the life that we have. So what we receive in first is what becomes our vision, and those vision becomes our mission, and those missions become our life. So don't forget that what people receive in becomes their meditation becomes their vision, and their vision becomes their mission, and their mission is their life. So what we all listen to, what we all watch, is who we are displaying out here.
Absolutely.
So that is all I have to say for today. Some other time.
This is profound. This is awesome, and this is time well spent with you, brother. And I sincerely appreciate your time, coming up on the program, Mediapedia. You are awesome, and you have done so much for yourself and for others. You have helped many people. You are the life testimony of what you've been talking about. So you are not just talking. You have been doing so much for yourself, not just now, not 10 years ago, not 15 years ago. You've been consistent doing the same thing. Now, it seems as though you are doing something a bit different, but you are still around that industry, making sure that lives are getting more meaningful and more blessed. Thank you very, very much. And I can't say that well enough. My special regards to your beautiful wife. Oh, your wife is beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
So, yeah, because mine is beautiful too. So I'm free to say yours. yeah. So my love to her, and I wish you all the best. I don't know, can you just talk about therapy for a few minutes? Or is this something we should make when we come back again? Okay. Please go ahead.
Okay, anyway, therapy is a kind of therapy.
Okay.
It is a kind of therapy that I'm one of the people that worked there and we created, and it's to manage people's mental health, and we work so much on people's wellness and their wholeness. So we create a combination, or let me say intervention procedure of cognitive behavioral therapy, life scenery, imagery, music therapy, physical therapy, and technology. All this put together, we use in helping people to manage their lifestyle, stress, depression, anxiety, to make people just functional, completely productive. So that's what it's about. So we're looking into how people can be more productive in life. And one of the things is that people's mental health, or let me say people's mind, is the new chamber that is being consistently attacked in the world presently. So we have left, like I said, we have left the industrial age. We don't get to do too much physical stuff now. We do mental stuff now. So people's health mentally is something that needs to be attended to seriously, because every disease happened there first.
That's true.
Every disease happened there first. When there is a break there, then you see the results in physical life. So those are the things that we are trying to help, because if people's minds are not fine, they will not be able to produce the right things they should produce, and they will not have a nice life. Like presently also in Nigeria, life expectancy in Nigeria is 55 years. So no Nigerian ought to live beyond 55. You ought to die when you're 55. with the structure of the way this country is presently, you ought not to live beyond 55. And this is tracked down to our mental health. So our mental health is consistently deteriorating unconsciously that we don't know about, which is actually devaluing, the value of our lives. So because of that, people get to die of heart attack. You see a lot of obituaries now. People don't live beyond that environment. 60,
that's true.
9.
That's true.
So
Mr. Cornelius is the lead consultant at Therapol. As I have it, you are the lead consultant at Therapol. So how do we locate the organization? How can we track you people down? Anybody that is going through stress, anybody that is going through any, mental challenges, mental health.
You can check us out www.therapol.org.
Okay.
And you can check us on all social media platforms, Therapol Office, on Twitter, on Instagram, and Facebook. Okay. You can get more details there.
Okay. I think the WhatsApp line is there on the screen, and the email address too is there on the screen. Thank you very much to the media team, and again, I thank you very much, our great friend, Cornelius Saxey, and I wish you all the best in the rest of your journey. Thank you very, very much. And to the viewers, thank you very, very much for, staying tuned to this program. And we are grateful, and we will be more grateful if you try to share the link, subscribe to the page, to the channel rather, if you've not subscribed, like and do the needful. Let's get this message around the world. This is a very great content that Cornelius has given to us this evening, and it will be good we share the good news, to people around us. The power of music, how music influences us without us knowing, and how the entertainment industries are getting us to do things, without us knowing that they are the ones influencing us. The way you talk to your wife, the way you dance to your husband, the way you treat your children, you that you don't used to nag before, all of a sudden you start nagging at your wife or husband. You didn't just get that from the blues, it came from somewhere. And that is what Mr. Cornelius has been able to reveal to us today. And I'm glad we already have his promise. He's going to come back and to finish what he started. He must finish it. So thank you very much. Hope I won't go to market to start looking for that bottle too. Thank you very much. Again, the producer of the music that is sounded behind is Mr. Cornelius. Please enjoy.
Yes, I believe. Yes, I believe.